Hello, it's Film Frenzy, and my latest movie review, I'll be reviewing the 2018 coming-of-age film Love, Simon, which comes into theaters March 16th. So let's get started with my first category, which is direction and visuals. So for direction and visuals, I'll be giving Love, Simon a 4.5 out of 5, so a very great score. So this isn't a movie that's gonna have stunning visual effects or any of that stuff. This isn't like your latest Mission Impossible. But this movie does have a very great directorial flair that I see. It's by Greg Berlanti, who he's like the showrunner for all those like DC superhero shows on the CW, and I think he does a great job. He shows like all those text messages, because it's a very like reliant movie on technology, and I think he does a good job at that. And it was just very clever, like as he goes through the different people that could be like the person that he's like messaging, because this is kind of like a You've Got Mail-esque type feel for a movie. So kind of like I like how he just like goes through the different people and stuff in a clever way. And then I also like there's this one dance number, I'm not going to say when, but it's just handled very well and just in very great direction overall, although sometimes it can look a little bit too cliche, and I'm not a big fan of like high school movies when they get too cliche. Next up, I'll be discussing acting and character development. So the acting and character development in Love, Simon is one of the finest aspects of this movie. And for the score, I'm going to be giving it a perfect 5 out of 5. So the first third of the movie, the first act, lags a little bit by making the characters seem a little kind of cliche at first. But like it's just kind of more of a foundation, that first act, and then just builds on like crazy. This is a very character-driven story. Like there's like two types of movies, like the one that's just like the plot like kind of delivers the characters to you, and then when the characters just drive the plot forward. So I felt like after that first act, they just let the characters do their thing, and boy, do they do it well. These characters are so fleshed out, and they're just so multi-dimensional. The four main friends, they all have great character arcs, and they all it's so cohesive, this movie, because there's a ton of subplots, but they mesh them so well with all the different character arcs and the character relationships with each other. And then there's like other characters like Martin, or the guy that plays Kid Flash, I can't remember his character's name. There's just a lot of characters in there, and they do a perfect job at it. Overall, this is really well done. For my final category, I have plot, pacing, script, and theme, the various story elements. So this was a tough category to decide, because this film, like the first act is so weak, as you'll see me talk about when I say my overall rating, but the second two-thirds just bring it up so much. So I'm going to be giving plot, pacing, script, and theme a 4 out of 5 overall. So in terms of plot, this movie balances subplots like no other. Like it's so well done. I can really tell how it came from a book and stuff, and just how they make it so cohesive. Like I said earlier, it's insane because they all tie together, and in the end they work out so well. So I think it has a really succinct plot. It's pretty original, and I think overall it really just blew my expectations. And in terms of pacing, it's a little slow at the beginning. Like the thing with the beginning is, as I'll talk about in script also, it was not funny at all. I would say about 25% of the jokes clicked in the first third of the movie. They didn't really land well, and the characters just seemed kind of annoying, and the voiceover at the beginning seemed so cliche and just ugh, we've been there before, because I just seen Perks of Being a Wallflower a week before, and I was like, I didn't love that movie. This seems like it's turning out to be like that, but a little bit worse. But luckily it didn't turn out to be like that. It turned out to be a lot better, in fact, because the script turns itself around in the second two-thirds. It becomes hilarious with 99% of the jokes landing. There was a couple side characters like the theater teacher that were a little annoying, and there's some, of course there's cliches, but it's kind of hard to avoid them with a high school movie. I would have loved to see not all that at the parties, the average party scene with the drinking and stuff. It's okay, can we have a high school movie without that crap? But overall, it just does such a good job, and then the themes are really great, just about a little bit of not being selfish and stuff with some of the things he does, because he does some bad things. These are very multi-dimensional characters that they write and stuff. They all have their flaws, but they all have their benefits too, and just really relatable. This movie, it's just about a secret, because they don't just say oh yeah, it's just about being gay. It's about any secret you have, and just being who you are to other people and stuff. And it's really a beautiful movie. And I went in expecting, I saw it for a GoPro screening, as you can see here. I'm really lucky. I've seen it a month before it comes out, and I was a little hesitant because I was oh, it's one of those teenage like movie from book adaptations. It could go like one way. It could be like really great. Like it could be like Fault in Our Stars, which I haven't seen, but it looks very good. Or it could be a little weaker, like maybe Paper Towns, or even worse. And I was scared that wasn't gonna be good. And that's pretty much what I felt like in the first third. I was like, yep, this is pretty much exactly my expectations. But luckily, like I said before, whoosh, it went up. It went crazy up. So for my overall score, I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5. That's right, it's a great movie. So far, my favorite of 2018, even though I've only seen 3 2018 movies, the others being Insidious and The Polka King. But like this movie overall, it just has such a great ending and stuff. It just like it really makes you feel emotional and stuff. Like because it has so many side characters, and like I think it's the real strong suit of this movie is balancing all those relationships out with between like Simon and all of his friends and all of his family, and it really just creates some great like moments. Like some of these conversations are so deep. Like the one that his best friend, who's like the girl from 13 Reasons Why, and him have like just like about like love and stuff in general, and like the side character Martin, who's like this kind of like weird guy. Like they just portray him so well. Like he could have easily been like a cliche character, but instead they hire the perfect actor, and they just make it so just like originally unique, and just not like some like they don't shy away with simple answers. This movie is complex and beautiful, and you must watch it when it comes out on theaters in March, because this is a crowd pleaser. Like it's an uplifting movie. It's got great emotion. It's got great humor. One of the funniest coming of age movies I've seen, along with The Way Back. So overall, this movie is great. Please see it. Thank you for watching my review. Stay tuned for other reviews and other ranking videos coming to Film Frenzy soon. Catch you guys later. Bye.